So we're having a discussion over here about AI and how you can take a teachings of Torah, in this instance, the teachings of the Rebbe that I actually taught this week, um, and take the teachings, put it into AI, and ask it to make a podcast in a podcast form, the teachings. And I earlier listened to it. It's phenomenal. Very engaging. Podcast is two people and, sharing between two people and taking the teachings and bringing it down into a very palatable and easy way to learn it or to understand the teachings. So a few comments that we had about that. One was, well, I might be out of a job soon. AI, or maybe I am a AI talking to you right now. Maybe, right? And so that's one thing. And actually, when Mashiach comes, we'll learn directly from God. But God's not A1, but at least a metaphor of A1. You can, now in the end, you have to feed the A1. So whatever you're feeding it is, it's going to spout out. So it doesn't have that capacity. That was one point. Another point that was made is, and we see that very clear before us, that we're living in what's called Alma de Shikra, a world of lies. Because if you listen to the podcast, the voices are AI, and the thing that was put together was completely AI, but it sounds so real, like real people, and like they're having a real conversation. It's phenomenal. Um, and in fact, it's not real people and it's not a real conversation. And they're only spitting out what they've been spoon fed. It's all a lie. Yeah. But the medium is completely false and fake. The medium, right? I mean, because you would think that it's not in that sense. If you know that it's AI, so then you know what it is, of course, right? Which is indicative of the world that we live in today, of the falsehood that there is, right? And the third point is, wow, we need to refine this world to the extent that there'll be nothing left to refine, and everything has been refined. So here's a perfect example: AI, that the world is worried and scared about what's going to be, right? What's going to be with it? It's going to take over. It might take over my job. Maybe I am AI talking right now. On the screen, you won't know. It's only the people here that know because they see 3D or not. Huh? No, they're good, but it could be just an image, right? On screen, it's an image. Here, it's not. Yeah, it's coming, right? Yeah, it's coming. So, in any case, so why will we need me or you or any of us? Because in the end, we can only do the mitzvah. We can have the choice. AI doesn't have a choice. When it's spoon fed, it will spit out. Well, we're spoon fed of Tanya. Not necessarily do we spit out those teachings. Sometimes we just allow, our animal instinct to rule us rather than our godly instinct. So we're going to still need you. Don't worry, folks. Okay. Maybe you won't need me as the teacher. You can, but we'll need you to learn. The learners will need. All right. Welcome. to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from AI. From Chabad Zichron Kadeshim in Montreal, Canada, it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Okay, we continue in the 20th letter. This letter, the Alter Rebbe wrote several days before his passing. Very deep concept that today we're going to get somewhat full circle on the idea. Well, at least we're coming to completion of the idea. Not completely, but we're getting there. And that is that this physical world, the uniqueness of it, and this, as opposed to the spiritual worlds, that the physical world is more connected to the essence of God than even the spiritual worlds, which is very counterintuitive. Right? Think, oh, places where our souls in Gan Eden, angels above, and the like. And even in our world, the spirit and the spiritual in our world isn't that, the loftiness of this world. No. So let's understand. So, says the Alter Rebbe, we spoke, if you recall, that from the Kav, which is the source of creation, which emerges from the Ein Sof, from the infinite of God. There's a ray of light that comes from it that is the source of creation, but that's beyond creation. Then there's a ray of a ray, a radiation of a radiation. It's also beyond the nature of this world, wonderment and miracles. But then you have a radiation of radiation of radiation. What does that mean? It means that the divinity that it's sourced in is completely dissimilar to it. You wouldn't recognize it, right? Whereas in AI, you don't recognize. AI, you don't recognize it's AI unless you're told. The voices sound so real. The conversation sounds legit. So here we're talking about the radiation of the Kav, is the source of creation, is so dissimilar and is not of the same essential quality. Yet, it contains in it the inner illumination of the Kav and the encompassing light. Now, it's the source of creation. Where does this kind of reveal itself? Where does this power and the ability to create, right? Coming, right, in the terminology of spheres, of the divine attributes, it's Malchus, in the world of Atzilus. It now finds expression in this physical world. Where does it find expression specifically is in the element of earth. There are 4 elements of creation: fire, the highest; air, water; earth. Those are 4 elements. By the way, there's 4 holy, just Alter Rebbe doesn't say this on. Parenthetically, there are 4 holy cities in Israel based on the 4 elements. Fire is Jerusalem. Air is air is Tzfas. Water is Tiberias, which has the Kinneret Lake. And earth is Hebron. Exactly. So what's the lowest element of them? Is earth. It's the most physical. Fire and air, of course not. And even water is, not as physical, shall we say, as Earth. So the manifestation of the radiation that carries in it the inner dimension of the Kav, inner illumination, right, and the encompassing light, it finds its expression specifically in Mother Earth. Right. And as a result, that it finds, in other words, the lowest dimension, right, of the four elements of creation, which is expressed in the fact that only in the earth can you sprout something from nothing. You put a seed, the seed decomposes, and it sprouts, right, into herbs, into trees, constantly, creating vegetation. Our sages say that the mazel, the certain individual angel above strikes the grass or strikes the herb and says, grow. So in others, it's the power of the angel, which is not direct sourced in God. It's a creation, right? It's a creation. So seemingly it's not the power of the Ein Sof that finds itself in the Kav, that is itself becomes a radiation, but carries the inner dimension of the Kav, of the inner light of the Kav, we're saying that's the source. This seems to contradict it. Says the Alter Rebbe, it just tells it to grow from small to big, but not to be. To be, right? That is the source in the radiation of the Kaf, three radiations of the Kaf, right? That source there. But to grow from small to big, but small is also something. A mustard seed is also something to begin creation with, right? A soup mix is also something. Where'd the soup mix come from? Where'd the mustard seed come from? Where did the single cell amoeba come from? That's the Kav that we're talking about that creates it from nothing. That creates it from nothing. That's not a power that's vested in the angel. The angel only has the power to make it grow more. Okay. Now, if you want other terms and how to understand this in Kabbalistic terminology, there's a concept called Adam Kadmon, which means primordial man. Spiritual term for God as creator or God, and primordial man. So in man, you have the primordial thought, the original thought. What's that thought? God to create, right? Where does that thought finally come into fruition, into action? In the world of Asiya, in the physical world over here. And that is the idea that primordial man, his original thought, culminates in his feet. What are feet about? Action, right? Your hands are about emotion, expressing emotion, right? Your feet are about action. Your feet bring you to act, to do, right? So here we have primordial Adam Kadmon, primordial man, that the original thought that God has is brought into the final act, meaning Mother Earth, down here, the feet below. The lowest level is down here. And that's the idea of the beginning is wedged in the culmination. The original thought is revealed in the final destination, or the world of action. And in the world of action, the physical world of action, and in the physical world of action, the physical of the physical, which is the element of earth. No, no, we did not say that. I mean, well, yes, we can say it in other terms also. Malchus, right, is the lowest level, royalty, right? It's the 10th of the 10 divine attributes. What does a king wear? A crown. So the crown is the encompassing light of God, right? As the crown encompasses the individual, that encompassing light finds expression, right? Which is Kesser, crown. Where does it find expression? In the lowest part, Malchus, in the king. Kingship, royalty is the 10th and final divine attribute, right? So if you're looking from the beginning, so the beginning is Kesser. Where does it have its culmination? In Malchus. Or in other terms, the beginning is, in Adam Kadmon, is the thought, right? That's the beginning, right? In any human engagement, the beginning of anything is the thought that you have about something. And its culmination will be wedged in the end, which is the action that you take for it, right? That's all to bring out the same idea, right? In different terms of what we're talking about over here. I hope you got that. Any questions? Any comments? Any thoughts? All right, amazing. Guess what? We're going to learn some Rambam today. And Rambam now, 4 o'clock will be TRC. Please join us. I'm Rabbi Ronnie. Fine coming to you for Chabad.